Hey guys, welcome to The Last of Us. Karen, what are you doing here? Nothing. Get out. I'm doing a review. Okay, jeez. Sorry about that, guys. Karen doesn't know that she should not be doing my videos. I apologize for that. Karen will never, ever return. So with that out of the way, let's get on with the review. Episode 6 of The Last of Us Season 1, Kin. This was a great episode, honestly. I really enjoyed this episode. Had some problems, had some nitpicks. You guys know how it goes, the usual. HBO does a great job with music and visuals, but in terms of action, yeah, could use some work. So yeah, let's get on with the episode. Was it better than last week's? I don't think so, but I still very much enjoyed it. This was a character-focused episode. So we get a flashback of when Henry killed himself, just to kind of like recap what happened. And then we get this, time skip that happens. And this happened in the game. It's winter time now. It's been about 3 months. And we see this random guy, he's carrying 2 dead bunnies. The bunnies look kind of funny, but yeah, he's bringing them back to his cabin. And, we don't really know this character. I don't believe we know his name, but he looks Native American, if I had to say. And we kind of knew these characters would appear because we saw the trailer. And yeah, we see this Native American woman too, and she's... we find out that Joel is actually in the cabin. He is not robbing them, but he just needs some help. And he asks where they are, if he's seen Tommy, all that kind of stuff. Even Ellie comes down and, they mention how there's no infected here, which is pretty cool. Like, the infected don't come here. It's too cold. It's hidden. So, Joel just, kind of talks to him a little bit. And even Ellie comes into, and she has this funny line where she's like, there are 1,000. So they kind of get the location of where they are, and they decide to take off. They also warn them about the River of Death. So after that, Ellie also steals one of the rabbits. We see that Joel has a random panic attack, and this was definitely not in the games. Joel does not have panic attacks. He is built like a tank. So this is, like I said, another change from the games. Anyways, after that, we have this montage of, characters just walking and stuff. And man, like I said before, I'll say it again, Last of Us does a great job with the visuals. It's just so good. We have Joel, putting duct tape on his boot, which is very realistic. That would happen in 20 years in the apocalypse. Boots go bad. And, we have Ellie keeping kind of watch. Well, actually, she's not keeping watch. Sorry, she's looking at the lights. And, she comes down and they talk about like astronauts in space and stuff. And she even takes a sip of alcohol. Which I don't know why Joel did that, but okay. And yeah, they're just talking, and they're talking about dreams and stuff. About she's like, how save the world. She's like, what am I gonna do? What are you gonna do after we save the world, Joe? And Joel mentions about he wants to be a rancher with sheep and stuff. And yeah, it's kind of cool. That's kind of a tie-in to Last of Us 2 with Ellie instead. So Joel is sleeping. He fell asleep. He was supposed to stay the whole night, but she kept watch and all that because I guess Joel can't really stay up all night kind of thing, and then we see them going off on their journey, and they're going across this bridge, and this metal bridge over the river, and it is such a good shot, man. Like, seriously, Last of Us does not disappoint with the visuals. It just looks so good. And we have Ellie, who's, she's trying to whistle, and, she doesn't really know how to do that. And I like the banter between her and Joel, back and forth. Then they come across the dam, which is very funny because Ellie says damn, but not as a curse word. And they kind of skip over the dam stuff, which I guess in a way makes sense. And then, they come across this river, and then they come across the people. They thought they were in the clear, but no, these random cowboys kind of show up. And, they start pointing guns at them and asking about this and that. And we come across this woman. I knew it was Maria, but Joel mentions that he's looking for his brother Tommy. And, yeah, and then, yeah, so anyways, he just, they have a dog, and he's going to smell if they're infected. And the dog, this is really cute. I think his name is Buckle. Or Buckley, or something like that. And this is a cute dog because he's actually in The Last of Us 1 and 2 as a really minor character. So it's kind of cool that the dog is here. It's so cute, and I just love it. It's I love how they say it's going to tear Ellie apart if she's infected, but it actually starts licking Ellie and stuff because obviously even though Ellie's infected, technically she's immune, so the dog can't really detect that. So that was a cool touch. And, Maria kind of finds out that this is Joel, Tommy's brother. Because he said he's looking for his brother, Tommy and this and that. And she sees Ellie too. And yeah, I mean, to be fair, I kind of knew this was going to happen. But, it was still a cool scene. We have them riding on their horses. And they go back to Jacksonville. So yes, we actually get to see Jacksonville in full detail kind of in the show, because in part one of Last of Us, they didn't actually show Jacksonville. They just kind of mentioned it and showed the like a far away shot of the city, or and this was such a good shot. We get to see the people, the town, and everything. This was way better than when we first got to see the hilltop back in 2016. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just so well done. Scale is very good. It's great. And then, Joel sees Tommy and he calls out to him. And we have Tommy who's working on some platform thing, and he comes down and he sees Joel. And oh my goodness, man, this is just people are just watching. They're kind of shocked, and they hug. The brothers hug, and this was a cool scene. This was a good scene. And then after that, we have the characters in the mess hall. They're eating and all this stuff, which is it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. They're talking and this and that about how they had to survive and this and that. They mention how they found the town and stuff. And and we get to see this girl watching Ellie eat, and some people think this is Dina. I think it is too. So that's interesting, very interesting. And we have Joel kind of saying he wants to talk to Tommy, kind of thing, because he's family by himself, But Tommy reveals to Joel and Ellie that he is married to Maria, and Joel is not too happy about that per se, but he pretends he is, and so yeah, they're going around the town, and they're exploring, they're getting a tour. And there's the dam and all this stuff. This is just cool. They see horses and stuff, sheep, and I think it was like I can't remember, but one of the horses is named after the part 1 horse, so that was kind of cool. So yeah, so they're gonna be staying the night and stuff, and I like how the show is changing this, because in Last of Us 1, it's like they immediately go, they don't even go to Jacksonville, like they have to leave right after. But in this version, it just feels more organic. So what happened is, so Joel is lying to Tommy about how Tess is dead in this. He doesn't even tell him that Ellie's immune, and he just mentions that he needs help. He said that he needs Tommy's help to take her to the Fireflies. He needs directions, this and that. But Tommy kind of tells Joel that Maria is pregnant and he can't just leave. He can't do it and all this stuff. He just cannot do it. He cannot do Joel's mission for him. He says he can't do it. And he says that, he has a family now, and Joel kind of gets mad and leaves. Kind of thing, and they kind of mentioned Sarah, so yeah. And then Joel sees a woman from behind who looks very similar to Sarah, but she has a kid or little sister, so it's not her. And you have Ellie, who comes out of the shower. They got to stay in one of the houses, and I love this. Ellie finds some new clothes, but then she also finds this feminine product, which is very interesting. I don't know, the face that Bella Ramsey made, with the scene, it's just, this was good. This was funny. I like how we're getting these things that weren't in the game but in the show. So Ellie sees a plaque from Kevin and Sarah when they died, and Maria kind of comes. She gives Ellie a new jacket, which it's got to be hot in that. But yeah, she cuts her hair. She starts cutting her. I don't know why characters get their hair cut after they shower. I feel like it should be done before, like Rick did it, and now Ellie. It's just, but yeah, Maria kind of mentions Sarah and how she died, and Ellie's like, that makes sense why Joel's like this. And she also mentions to be careful of Joel because she worried that Joel might betray her too, kind of thing. So now we see it's movie night, and this is what, oh man, seeing all these kids born in the apocalypse, it's so cool. Like after the apocalypse, and they're just watching a movie. Not sure what movie they're watching. If anyone knows, please let me know down in the comments below. But anyways, after that, we have Joel. He's in a shed. He's trying to kind of like fix his boots, and Tommy kind of just brings some new ones, and he kind of apologizes. I don't really know why he does, but he kind of mentions how, like he wasn't trying to be selfish and this and that. Joel tells Tommy how Ellie is immune to the virus, and how she's not dying after being bit. And he also reveals to him how Tess was bitten and died, and that she wanted Joel to take Ellie, to the Fireflies because she's immune. And Ellie's walking around, and I guess she at some point hears a conversation, and Joel kind of mentions to Tommy how Ellie had to save him from that guy Brian who almost killed him, and he says that I can't hear from my right side. I'm weaker than ever. My back hurts, this and that. And this is very realistic. It kind of does explain why in the game, like, Joel wanted to just leave Ellie behind with Tommy. It's like, So I do admit this is more realistic and it kind of gives a reason, but I still kind of miss that BA Joel from the video game. But yeah, he says that Joel mentions how he's just scared he's gonna fail Ellie, like he's just gonna get her killed out there if he takes her to the Fireflies, because he mentions how he's not young like he used to be, and he mentions that Tommy could pull it off. Like if anyone could take Ellie to save the world, it's him. And he also mentions that no one can know she's immune other than them two, because they'll just shoot Ellie. But I'm pretty sure Tommy has probably some close best friends who wouldn't shoot Ellie even if they knew she was immune, whatever. But yeah, Joel comes home and Ellie is just like looking at some girl's diary that's probably long dead, and she kind of gets mad at Joel. She's like, "I heard the conversation. You want to leave me with Tommy and this and that." Not sure how she did it though. Yeah, but anyways, she mentions that she's not like Sarah, and Joel kind of gets mad and this and that. I'm just like, Joel, you got to get over your daughter's death. You got to get over it. It's been 20 years, and even Ellie's like, I lost people too, and it's like, yeah, she kind of has. In the game, they get attacked by raiders during this time, but in the show, they just like part ways and then go to bed. We didn't get a flashback of Joel and Sarah setting up a Christmas tree before the apocalypse, so that was interesting. But we don't really get to see her face, so I'm really wondering whenever we're gonna see Sarah again, because like, yeah, they didn't do much with Sarah's actress kind of thing. And she's actually a pivotal character, yeah. So Joel's just very upset, and he turns off the light, and then to go to sleep. And then we see Ellie, and she is all packed up and ready to go, with Tommy and this and that. So it is kind of interesting. And then she goes out, she's outside, and then there's Tommy, which is then the environment's so good. Then all of a sudden they see that Joel is there, it's like he mentions like how he's like, I'm gonna steal this horse, and I thought like they were gonna part ways or something, but no. Then Joel's like, okay, Ellie, if you want me to take you, and she's like, yes, let's go. Like just like that, it's like the whole thing was resolved. That was kind of weird. And I'm sorry, but if I'm Tommy, like I would probably be like, whoa, wait a minute, you said I'm gonna take her, now you changed your mind last night, like in the middle of the night. Like Tommy probably had to sleep on the couch or something, like because of Joel. I don't know. I just thought about that. It's like, man, like you could have warned him he would change your mind. So yeah, Tommy sees that Joel and Ellie leave. He says goodbye to them, and he tells them where to go. Then we see Ellie and Joel. They're kind of doing some sniper practice, and Ellie's like, man, sniper's messed up. It's not working. And Joel kind of shows her that it is working, because he actually shoots one of the targets, and actually gets it. He actually hits the dummy. And then, we see Ellie and Joel walking around, and he kind of mentions how him and Tommy were contractors, kind of builders and this and that. And, Ellie's just like the contractor and, all that stuff, which is really funny. I mean, not really funny, but it's cool chemistry. And then, we see that, they're at nighttime and, doing a fire and this and that, like stuff we never really got in the game. And then we see Joel and Ellie, they're still walking with the horse. By the way, that horse has got to be exhausted. I mean, seriously, this poor horse, Shimmer, whatever his name is, he has just been carrying him for 5 days. They actually say it's been 5 days. And I'm just like, man, this poor horse, like, seriously, he has to carry all their bags, the both of them too. It's like, oh man, like, he's probably exhausted. But they see the city, the landscape, it's cool. They get to the college, the University of Colorado, and this is one of the problems I had with the episode. There's no infected in this episode, like nothing. There's no bloaters, there's nothing like that. I get we had bloaters last time, but still. So Ellie kind of mentions how, so Joel changes his mind about his dream. He says instead of being a rancher with sheep, he wants to be a singer if they save the world. And Ellie's like, okay, you have to sing for me then, so yeah, they're looking around. They see that the Fireflies were here, but they're not here anymore for some reason. So yeah, there's that. I'm surprised they're not removing some of their clothing, because seriously, my goodness, they probably are. They have to be like really hot in their winter clothes. They go inside the college, and Joel finds out that the Fireflies kind of packed up and left. He finds a piece of paper, but they hear something, so they keep looking around, and they'll. Oh, by the way, they saw them outside, but we get the monkeys from the beginning of the game. Back in the game. So that's kind of cool. And Ellie's like, maybe they turned to monkeys. So we don't get any infected in this this whole episode had no infected. And then Ellie finds the map that they were going to Salt Lake City, because I think in the game there was a tape recorder that said, hey, we're going to Salt Lake City. And then Joel hears something. He hears someone talking, and he looks outside, and then he sees about 4 raiders who are just looking around and this and that. So he gets kind of nervous. So it's kind of like, okay, we have to go now. So Ellie and Joel go outside, and they're, trying to be sneaky and this and that, to get to the horse. And the hunters didn't kill it because obviously, horse is very valuable. So yeah. So then Ellie comes. So a random guy kind of sneaks up on Joel, like kind of like a ninja guy, and Ellie pulls out a gun, but Joel actually takes care of him. And he snaps his neck. He kills him. But unfortunately, we get the injury. And yes, Joel has been stabbed. Now, in the game, actually, Joel got rebarred. He fell down a second story and landed on rebar. So kind of like Rick in The Walking Dead Season 9, Episode 4, but actually worse. And the thing is, though, is that I guess they didn't do this in the show because it was too similar to what happened to Rick. But yeah, they see that the hunters are coming now. And Ellie kind of tells Joel to get on. Oh, by the way, Joel pulls the knife, the weapon out, which actually you're not supposed to do, because in the Quarry game, when a certain character gets stabbed, you actually can choose to keep the knife in you, because that way you don't bleed to death as much. I guess like it's just like a thing that I found out. Like if you get stabbed, keep it in, because you're gonna bleed out more if it's removed. That's one thing. Which is, interesting. So yeah, the hunters are chasing them, and Ellie and Joel get on the horse. They're running. The horse is carrying them and going fast. She's shooting back. And then we see that, I don't know how far they are. They're probably, a mile or so from it. And Joel passes out. He falls off the horse. And, he's lost a lot of blood, I assume, but I don't really know how much. And, we get Bella Ramsey acting her hat off, because this was such a good scene. She's telling Joel to wake up. She doesn't know what to do. She doesn't know where to go. Like, without him, she's dead, there's nothing else. There's no one. She can't do anything, and the way she was acting and crying in this scene, it was so well done. I loved it, absolutely. And we get this awesome song playing in the background. It's just like this beautiful. It's one of the things I love about Last of Us. The music is so good. Like, and it, kind of zooms out, and the horse is probably just like, oh, thank God I don't have to carry both of you anymore. That horse is a savage. So yeah. Anyways, that's it. The end of the episode. So the episode ends, and yeah, guys, which one did I prefer? This is kind of tricky, because this episode, I would say it was the same as last week. It was a very good episode. The character moments were definitely better in this episode than last episode. And I like the set pieces were very good as well. I loved getting to see Tommy again and stuff with Maria. Like all of that was good. Jacksonville. The only problem I have with the episode, and even how Joel got injured, like I'm okay with that. The only flaw I have with the episode is that there were no infected, there were no clickers, bloaters. Like, I get it, we just had them last episode, but it's like, come on, like, we barely got any infected. Like, we had some infected in episode 2, and then we got them in episode 5, and then now it's 6. Like, we're 2/3 of the way done, and we only got 2 episodes of infected. Like, you know what I mean? It's just kind of, small. You know what I mean? But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for my review. Let me know what you thought of this episode down in the comments below. There's only 3 episodes left, guys. Episode 7, Episode 8, and Episode 9. And then The Last of Us Season 1 is over. So yeah, guys, if you enjoyed this, please like, share, comment, subscribe, and I will see you all next time for The Last of Us. Bye.